So here's my audience. Oh, there you go. My mom is holding my daughter, so hopefully she doesn't interrupt during this speech. She's almost 2. So my name is Hunter Keith. I'm going to give my informative speech on being a present father. So a father's role is a lifelong commitment. You can't just be a father for a couple months or a couple years, but essentially a big part of your life is being a father, raising your kids, because they're usually living with you until they're about 18 to 20 years old, and then going to college or getting a good job, whatever the case may be. So it is a huge part of your life, teaching your children and being present for your kids. So I want to kind of inform people on that and some tips and tricks on how to be a better present father. Um, so as I said before, I have a 2-year-old daughter now, and I have another daughter on the way. My wife's about to pop, so it'll be here shortly. That'll be daughter number 2. So I feel like I am experienced enough to give this speech. Meeting the psychological needs of your children is the first category that I want to talk about. Children obviously are learning and growing on how to act as a person, so their psychological development is ongoing. No matter what you do, what you say, they're picking up on that, and every little bit of information is being stored in their brain. So the psychological needs is a huge piece. And for example, a daughter is always looking for comfort and for passion, and basically how a dad should be and how men should be in their lives. If you're, being a present father in their life, you should be teaching them respect, teaching them basically how a man should treat them in their life when they're looking for marriage or for a partner. They should know that men should be trustworthy and they should be kind to them. And if they're not, then they should avoid that person. And then opposite goes for a son. A son is a little bit more competitive and basically looks up to their dad all the time and is always seeking approval. So being a present father there is a huge piece because the son is always looking up to the dad to see if he did it right, to be like his dad. So if he's doing the things his dad's doing, then he feels appreciated and he feels like he's being a good person. To the next topic, we're going to learn some different techniques on how to be present to your children and how you can kind of teach them in different ways. So a couple of things I thought about was how to teach your kids to take risks. Because if they play it safe their whole life, then they're never going to mess up, they're never going to be wrong, and it's just too easy to live that way. You won't ever learn as much as the people that always make mistakes and that have failures in their lives. The people that have failures are the ones that learn and grow. And for your kids, that's the most important. You want them to know that eating dirt isn't a good idea because it's not going to give you any nutrients and it's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth. Whereas, if a kid is never going to eat dirt, they're never going to know that it's not bad for them. So that's just a little small example, but things like that that really help a kid develop to who they should be when they grow up. Following rules and the consequences that follow after is another point. Kids think that they own the world and they can just run around and scream and do whatever they want. So teaching them that there's rules and boundaries to things is crucial. And being present there for that helps them know expectations in their life so that there is deadlines, there's guidelines. You can't just run around screaming and live life that way. You have to be taught respect and that there are punishments if you do things that are bad, but there's also rewards if you do things that are good. And then encouraging healthy competition, especially for boys out there. They're always competing with their siblings to see who's the fastest, who can shoot the most hoops, and other things of that nature. So being a present father there is a huge thing because your kids are always looking up to you. Hey, Dad, look at this. I went down the slide. That was great. So there's things like that that being present is a huge deal to them, that they'll be able to learn and grow from that. And just to wrap this speech up a little bit, I hope those techniques, tips, and tricks help you to understand why being present is a good idea for your children, that your kids will be better off in life, they'll know discipline and guidelines, and that they'll feel ultimately your love as you're there for your children. The audience one more time. All right, thanks for watching.